Okay, all right. Well, happy Friday, and I'm gonna do a little bit more of kind of just almost like workshops where I'll be kind of working through some data sets and analysis, and I think I'll probably do some more of this next week as well. A lot of groups that I've seen so far have been like proposing like NBA data and things like that, which is great. NBA is fun, and so maybe I'll do something a little bit with NBA next week or something. And I've had a lot of project proposal meetings, and I still have some more coming today. And I just want to, during this proposal meeting, sometimes I feel like maybe I come across as a little intense or something. But the entire purpose of that meeting is in order to kind of help you recognize potential pitfalls and problems early on, so that they don't develop into like major issues, where you can't do the thing that you need to be doing, for the final, for the final thing, right? And a lot of these, when you have a research question, part of it is to really cleanly define whatever it is that you're looking for, right? And like in the medical community, for example, you don't just say like, is somebody unhealthy, right? Because that's such a vague thing. So you have, very specific conditions and very specific numbers kind of to report these things, right? So you say like, okay, what does it mean for somebody to have high blood pressure? Okay, there's very specific numeric cutoffs that says, okay, if you're over 140, it's hypertension level. I don't know all the numbers, but at certain numbers, that's where we define, this is an unhealthy condition. Okay, if we want to say, is somebody diabetic, we're looking at their measurement and we're saying if their A1C is over 6.5, or I think that's the number or something. So if there's kind of this concept that you want to explore, it requires that you kind of very clearly define exactly what that is. So that's something important to think about. And anyway, I will update my office hour schedules. So far I've been having, I've had kind of 4 office hours a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then also Saturday mornings. And I'll probably, for weeks 7, 8, and 9, I'll add office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So pretty much like every day, except for Sunday, I'll have at least some time period. And I'll the Tuesday and Thursday one, like I'm not going to be on campus, so I'll just be on Zoom. But you can log in and then I'm also so just a couple more updates. I'm not going to assign any more homework, okay, for the rest of the quarter. I want you to take this. So I say no homework, so don't be like, oh, we don't have to do anything, right? The intention behind no homework is the time you would be spending doing homework, you will be spending working on your project, right? So I want to make sure, I don't want to be like, okay, here's homework, and you also have to work on your project, okay? Yeah. It's going to be take your time, really focus on your project, okay? And I'm going to have expanded office hours. So as you're working on your project, I'm almost you should be running into like situations where you're like, I'm not quite sure how to do this, okay? If you're not running into that, you're probably not asking like the right questions or something. So I mean, or maybe you're also really good at just like exploring all of these things, okay? But if you run into an issue, come to office hours and I'll try to help guide you through it. And the answer might be like, okay, this is how you solve it. The answer might also be like, okay, that's just not possible with the data that you have, right? And so sometimes that's that could happen. So So anyway, I'll post my expanded office hours schedule this weekend. So you'll just see some additional office hours for Tuesdays and Thursdays,
Okay.
and those will be Zoom only.
Oh, Tuesdays. So you're gonna have office hours all week.
So my Monday, Wednesday, Friday office hours will be the same,
Yeah.
and then I'll have some office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays as well.
Is it gonna be morning time? When you're in office?
Yeah, I mean, so I don't come in on campus on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I'll.
You be baking.
Huh?
Baking with your daughters.
Yeah, I don't know what I'll be doing, but.
I said base.
Okay.
I just caught him baking one.
All right. Well, anyway,
Baking with his daughter.
I'll log in on Zoom, and then probably I'll be doing other stuff. But then if somebody pops in, I'll hear the chime, and I'll answer your questions. Okay. So that's what we'll do. Okay. So again, even though there's no homework, make sure you're still working on stuff. All right. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, let's take a look. So here I just we're gonna I'm gonna continue working on this Las Vegas data set, Las Vegas TripAdvisor hotel data set. So first I'm going to load up the Tidyverse, which comes with kind of almost all the packages that I want to run. And I'm going to go ahead and click play there. And so this is one of my recommendations, is make a code chunk where you just load your libraries and play that once, okay? Because if you put there's nothing wrong with creating a whole bunch of separate code chunks, because basically every time you click play for a code chunk, it runs all the code in there, right? And if you have loading the library in this code chunk and you run it every time, it's going to take the time to like reload that library every single time, which is just kind of silly. So you don't want to do that. As far as importing the data set, I've been using readr, which and I'm going to use in this case. But I also want to kind of point out that there is something called library data.table. And I think I pointed this out in one of the past lectures about like loading things. And so if you have some of your projects have like these very big data sets, like basically over 1 million rows, right? And if you're one of those groups with over 1 million rows, I strongly recommend using data.table over for big data sets, okay? So if I do library data.table, then I would use fread, and I would need the path, and so my data file is Las Vegas TripAdvisor reviews.csv. I mean, so you could use this even for small data sets. fread will still work, okay? But this will load up. So for big data sets, and fread is like fast reader, will read data quickly, fast, from data using data.table. So if you've got a big data set, we've got that, okay? And then also another handy. So once I've loaded this data, okay, you can do view, capital V view. Capital V view will let you kind of just see the data as it was read in, okay? So, all right. So here's a tip. And maybe I'll do this, okay? So one tip is whenever you create a new column with mutate, okay, be sure to select the column, the new column that you created, and use capital V view to browse through the results to make sure the results are what you expect. Yes?
What's the difference between view and just like putting the name of the variable there?
So view is for an interactive thing. Make sure, so I'll also add this, but make sure you remove all calls to view when you kind of print / render your document, okay? View is intended for kind of interactive use. And sometimes you can just kind of click it over here with the what's going on here? You can just kind of click it and view it as well, but you can only view things that are are stored in the environment, whereas a lot of times you want to just kind of create, like you want to mutate something and create a new variable, and you just kind of want to browse and make sure it looks right. That's view is intended for this kind of interactive thing, and you can kind of see your results right away.
Can it be done like during a pipe operator?
Not in the middle of a pipe operator, okay? So it's kind of like you've done your operations, you've summarized, you've mutated, you've done stuff, and you kind of want to just check the results before you save it. So a lot of times you'll be like, here's the Las Vegas data set, and I want to kind of add a column, and I want to store it back into the Las Vegas data set. But when you store it back into it, it overwrites everything. And so if you've made a mistake over here, and you write it over, then you're in trouble, right? And it's not like playing a video game where you can go back to an earlier save state. So you'd have to just kind of restart. If you mess something up, you have to kind of restart at the top of your thing. It's not that bad. It's not that awful. You just have to kind of click through the code that you've written, but it's also a tiny bit annoying. So one thing that you kind of do is you just do a view, you look at it, and you go, okay, this looks right. I'm happy with this. Now let's go ahead and save it. So I'll just kind of demonstrate something like that right here. So I wanted to just show you, some of you guys are working with, some of your data has these big text fields, all right? So, some of these things don't apply to your group projects because, some of your data is all numeric, you don't have any text. But a lot of you have text fields, okay, character columns, okay? And so one command is string detect, all right? And this will allow you to, if you have this big text field that lists off a whole bunch of stuff, okay? So I think somebody had, I don't know, different genres or categories or something like that, and you want to be like, okay, is music one of these things or something like that? String detect can just be used to see if certain words, so use string detect to see if certain words or phrases, or I'll just say certain words are in the field, okay? So for example, with this thing, this isn't exactly a great use of it, but if you look at hotel name, some of these things say hotel and casino, okay? Excalibur Hotel and Casino, Monte Carlo Resort and Casino, Treasure Island Hotel and Casino, and I mean Caesar's Palace has a casino, but for example, the Trump International Hotel actually does not have a casino. It's a hotel only, okay? And so there's different properties in Las Vegas that don't have casinos and stuff in them, and this hotel name, like the Hilton Grand, I think is also just a hotel only, no casino in there. And so, depending on the property, they may or may not have a casino. This is not 100% accurate. You can't just say, well, because it doesn't have casino listed in it, it doesn't have a casino. But, I mean, this is just kind of an example. Let's say we wanted to detect if, casino is part of the hotel name. Okay. All right. So the way I would do this is I would take our data set, Las Vegas. Okay. And then I'm going to use mutate to create a new column. Okay. And this new column is just going to be, does it have the word casino in it? Yes or no? Okay. So so I'm going to call has casino is going to be the name. Whoops. Is going to be the name of my new column, and I'm going to use the function string detect. Okay. And I'm going to say I want you to check the column hotel name. Okay. Hotel name. So check the column hotel name, and the word that you're looking for is casino. Okay. This uses something called regular expressions, and I don't know if you are familiar with regular expressions. Probably not. It's a very involved topic, and we could spend like several lectures on it. And so I'm not going to get into like all of regular expressions. I'll teach you a few basic ones. But I mean, at the very basics, you can just be like, does it have this thing casino? Okay.
Could you give us the gist of it? Sorry.
Yeah.
So will this include both capital letters?
This one will be only capital C, exactly as you see it here. Okay. I'll show you how to like look up multiple things.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, this one will be only capital C, exactly as it appears. It's case sensitive and everything. Again, regular expressions.
What is it used for? Like,
It's for everything with text. Everything with text. And like in my Stats 102A class, I cover regular expressions and we get into it. Here, you're just going to get like the very, very, very basics, which is just literal. Like, does it match exactly as it appears here? And we'll kind of keep it at that. Okay. If you come in during office hours and you're like, I'm having trouble with this text business, can you help me out? I can be like, okay, well, here's like this, do this and this, and regular expressions are so cool, I gotta say. All right, so anyway, basically, we're gonna mutate this. Now, what does mutate do? It just adds a brand new column at the very end, right? And so what I want to kind of do is I just want to see, like, did this actually work? So I'm gonna select the column hotel name, and this new one that I just created has casino, and I want to view it. Okay, so I'm going to pipe it into capital V view, and I'm just going to go ahead and run it. This does not modify my data. It just creates the new column, and here, view just gives you a preview of kind of the column that you just worked with, hotel name, and the new column that you created, right, has casino. Okay, so we see hotel name casino, has casino comes back true. Excalibur Hotel and Casino, the casino is true. Monte Carlo Resort and Casino, true. Treasure Island Hotel and Casino, true. Tropicana Las Vegas, a DoubleTree by Hilton Hotel, comes back false. Okay, so this is what we want. There's no mention of casino here, so we want it to be false. Caesar's Palace comes back false. The Cosmopolitan, the Palazzo Resort Hotel Casino comes back true. So far everything looks good. I mean, you don't have to go through every single line, but it looks good, right? So after viewing the created table or the created column, it looks good. So I will save it. Okay. So because it looks good, I'm going to go ahead and just take this command where I mutated a new thing, and I'm going to just save it back into Las Vegas. All right. So this is just take Las Vegas, mutate, which creates the new column, and I'm going to save it back into Las Vegas. All right, and I'll go ahead and run that. And what we'll see is here we have 504 observations and 20 variables. After running this, I'm going to have 21 variables because I added that new column. Okay. So far, so good? Okay, so just other things, like if you wanted to do like capital C casino or lowercase c casino, or just be able to kind of detect multiple things. So if you wanted to detect. So here I wrote detect if Hilton or Marriott is in the column hotel name. Okay, so what you do is you use parentheses around both words and separate words with vertical bar. Okay, do not use any spaces unless you want it to search for, the space character. So, so here I'm going to just go ahead and so I'm going to just kind of copy this, and as far as string detect, I'm going to put in. So if you wanted to have like capital C casino or lowercase casino, you can do this. Okay, or in this case, I'm going to do hotel. I don't know. What did I say? Hilton or Marriott. Okay, and so this allows you to kind of search for different words. And if you wanted to do like, again, keep, so you can kind of keep listing off all of the different words that you want separated by vertical bars. Again, don't put any spaces in here, and it's going to search for, this exact word or this exact word or something like that. Okay. So here I'm going to just run, and actually I'll say Hilton or Marriott. Okay. It's Hilton Marriott, and that will be the column. It's Hilton Marriott, and I'll run this, and we can see, okay, Circus, Hotel, and Casino Las Vegas comes back false. All of these things are false. Let's see if, okay, so Tropicana, a DoubleTree by Hilton Hotel, is true. So that looks good. Okay, Caesar's Palace, the Cosmopolitan, Palazzo, the Wynn, Trump is false, the Cromwell, but then we have Hilton Grand Vacations is true, Marriott's Grand Chateau is true, and things like that. So this looks good. Hilton Grand Vacations at the Flamingo, also true, right? So, you'll discover there's like only a few like major hotel chains, and they own like so many hotels. Okay, all right, and so that's how you can like detect like multiple of these things as well.
Is it time?
Oh yeah. You want your first. Okay, the first one today is the letter A.
Who's that?
A as in apple. Okay, so that's string detect, and that can be used to see like if certain words are exist inside of your column, which could be helpful, right? Okay, let's see another thing. Okay, so string extract. So sometimes you want to take a field and you want to kind of like just pull out certain characters from it, right? And so, for example, I think I saw some people looking at like flight data and stuff, and it was, one of the things was the time. And the time, it would be like the flight took off at, 11:07 in the morning, but it's written as kind of a number, 1,107, rather than like 11:07 or something like that. So in that case, you might want to extract, say, the last two digits and the first two digits. So I wanted to kind of show you how you would go about doing something like that. Okay, so we'll use string extract, and you specify patterns, all right? And so this is these are regular expression patterns. So the regular expression pattern, or the regular expression, which is going to be dot curly brace 2, which dollar sign will match the last 2 characters in the field, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Las Vegas, and we will do mutate. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take I'm going to just take this again. This is a little bit nonsense, okay, for this particular example, but you could kind of generalize it to a whole bunch of other stuff. So I'm going to just take this column number of rooms, and I just want to pull out the last 2 digits, okay? And I think I saw some people, you had like NBA season, but it was like NBA season was like 2019-2020 or something like that, and maybe you only just want to pull out the 2020 part or the 2019 part or something like that. So you can just say, I just want the last 4 digits. I want the first 4 digits or something like that, right? So you might have there's a situation where oftentimes you just want to pull out some of these digits. So here I'm going to just do I'm going to call my variable rooms last 2, and I'm going to use the function string extract, and we're going to take the column number of rooms. That's the column that we want to work with, and I'm going to use this pattern dot curly brace 2 dollar sign, okay? And then just to kind of check, again, just to check that it's working correctly, I'm going to select the column number of rooms, and the column that I just created, rooms last 2, and I'm going to capital V view it, right? And when I run that, 3773, extracting the last 2, we get 73. 3981, we get 81. 3003, we get 03. 2884, we get 84. So it looks pretty good, okay? So I'm happy with these results. So if I'm happy with these results, I can save it back into Las Vegas, right? So just a little bit about this pattern, a little bit of a breakdown. The dot is a wild card, and it will match any character. Okay, the curly brace 2 means match 2 two of the wild cards, right? The curly brace 2 comes after the dot, and it means to match 2 basically dots, okay? And then the dollar sign says the dollar sign at the end says it must happen at the end of the string, right? Similarly, if you want to say match, to extract the, say, first 3 characters of a field or something like that, okay? Here I'm going to do rooms, and I'm going to call this first 3. So I'm going to extract from the column number of rooms. What I want is I'm going to change it to $3, and here I want it to match at the front, so I'm going to put a caret at the beginning. So the caret is basically only start at the beginning of the string, and then here we want basically 3 wildcard characters, okay? Yeah.
Can you explain what a wildcard is?
So wildcard, if I did this, it's gonna look for 3 C's in a row, all right? And back here, I just said look for this exact capital C followed by an A, followed by an S, followed by an I, followed by an N, followed by an O, okay? Basically, I could do this, and it's gonna say any character followed by an A, followed by an S. So this would match capital C casino, lowercase c casino, but it would also match like nonsense words like busino and gusino, you know, like put in any other letter, okay? And it'll match it, right? You know? So I don't know. It's not, I don't know if there's any other words that rhyme with casino, but it'll match that, okay? So a wild card is just like any character, and if you want, okay, you can also specify. So match the first 3 characters of field. If you want, you can specify. I only want this to work if it's certain values and things like that. Did you have a question?
So does that work if there's like no character in front?
What do you mean by no character in front?
Like instead of a casino, instead of a C, there's like nothing. So like you just have like the end, the C, I guess, when you use the dot.
Oh no, it means there has to be a character. Wait, okay, does dot match space? Okay, yeah, so actually it will match the space character. It will match everything except a new line. Okay? So so the dot is like truly like a wild, yeah.
What about on the event that you're actually looking for a dot?
Yeah, okay, so if you're looking for a literal dot, you have to, in R, you do // and that will be the literal dot. In Python, it's a single / dot. So it's a little bit of a funny thing, but yeah. But yeah, if you're looking for the literal dot, you have to what we call escape it, and you do in R it's a // in most other languages it's a single /. Yeah.
So is this supposed to output like just the last 2 characters from the mutated column?
It will output, so whatever column you're saying look into, it will take the last 2 characters out of that.
Okay. I tried to do this just now, and for some reason I got like the table with like true false values.
You're probably still using string detect.
Okay.
So string extract will take will look for this pattern and pull it out. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. String detect says, hey, can you find 2 characters in this column? And it'll probably return true unless like the column just has only 1 number in it.
Yeah.
Okay. So so this will extract the first 3 characters, and again, you kind of preview it to make sure it's working the way you want, and then if it is working the way you want, then go ahead and like save it back into Las Vegas or something like that, if you're happy. And you know, there's like more on regular expressions that I could teach you, but I think we'll just we'll hold off on too many more of these things. You know, otherwise I have to like create a whole lecture on regular expressions. Which we can do if yeah.
Yeah. So how do you plan on, if there's no homework, then what would be those lectures consisting of? Would it be more workshops like this, helping us with the...
Yeah, I can do more workshops. I can, you know, there might be a few more there's a couple more topics. So far as like the modeling section, all I've done is like, how do you do a t-test in ANOVA, and I'll have I'll do a lecture on like fitting like a linear regression or something, you know, a basic regression type of thing. So I at least just like very kind of basic modeling things. We're not going to get into anything super advanced. Sorry, no machine learning just yet. Just because if I teach you machine learning, it's just going to be like dangerous, right? It's like giving, you know, an 8-year-old keys to the car. It's like, you know, it's.
So there are going to be workshops that could help us with our project.
Yeah, that's the intention. Now you might use some of it, but not all of it. Yeah.
So I guess would we be done with data camp as well?
Yeah, I guess I could list off some like recommended things if you're interested, but yeah, no like formal assignments and homework there. Okay. but don't just coast.
You have a project,
Yeah.
Is it time again?
Okay, yeah,
I'm
let's
back on two.
let's go ahead and give you your second. The second answer today is the letter C. C as in cat. C as in cat.
2 for 2.
You should just not wear the lecture and just guess instead.
This is a side income, passive income.
Yeah, I'll make a
Okay.
spreadsheet with like a bet for you.
Okay. All right. Second answer, C as in cat. All right. Extract first 3 characters of a field. Okay. So the carrot. Let me just write this. The carrot, which is this character, means at the beginning. Okay.
Well, I always thought it was spelled like a carrot, you know.
I think.
Oh my.
Yeah.
I always picture the
Yeah.
carrot in my head.
Okay.
That changes my
Is your
world.
life ruined?
You know the names of all of the characters.
Wait, so that's like there's 3 ways to spell carrot, then, right?
Are there?
'Cause there's
Oh,
like
yeah.
carrot, like the vegetable, carrot, like the diamond.
Oh,
Is it? Oh, that's.
carrot for
Oh,
Diamond.
Yes.
Look at that.
Oh, 4 ways. There's a K. Carrot with a K.
What's carrot with a K?
And one of the sides spelled a carrot with a K.
So 4 ways?
It's
What?
not like British versus
Where?
Jewelers.
Oh, I think this is. I don't think that's a
It's
real
marketing
word.
strategy.
Karate kid. No, that's different.
No, there was some programming thing, I think.
Okay. Well, anyway, let's.
Changed my
There's a
changed my life.
quick summaries with. There's a function called table, and this is quick summaries. I'll say quick summaries of categorical variables. So sometimes you just want like a quick count. Now you can do this with dplyr, but there's also just this function table that just it does it real quickly for you. So here in the Las Vegas data set, I've got a column review month, review weekday, and I might be like, okay, how many times did January appear in this column, or how many times does Thursday or Friday or something like that appear? And so I can just do, I can take my data, Las Vegas, and I'm going to just select the column review month, okay? Oh, by the way, what I'm doing here is I'm using tab completion. So when I select a column and I start typing the name of the column, I get this little pop-up window, or this little pop-up, and then I hit the key tab to kind of finish typing out the rest of the name, all right? And it's just like a.
You can't just press enter. It wouldn't enter.
Oh, maybe does enter also do it? I'm used to using tab. Okay, yeah, enter also works. Okay,
How do you scroll up and down the autos?
arrow.
just the arrow keys, just the arrow keys on your keyboard. So up and down, and then enter tab. Okay, and then here I just pipe it into the function table, and then it says, okay, April 34, August 34, December 34, so on and so forth. Okay, so we have each of these things. Now, the default behavior is putting them in alphabetical order. Right? And so so when R looks at a column, so you only want to do table if it's like a categorical variable. If it's just a text field, okay, then then it gets messy in terms of like I don't think anyone's using like actual text data or something, but like in the past some students have like gone to like try to do Twitter data, and one of the fields is like what was the tweet, right? And you're not gonna have any like duplicate kind of things unless it's like just some simple hashtag or something, right? But And so if you try to do table on something like that, you're just basically you're going to get like the entire tweet appeared one time. This entire tweet appeared one time, and that's not the point of using table. It's kind of like if you have a categorical variable like the month or the day of the week, then it's useful. But again, the default is it goes in alphabetical order, which I don't know if anybody thought about what's the alphabetical order of the months. Yeah, it's April, August, December, February, January, July, June, and it's very disorienting, right?
Yeah.
To see the months in an order that's not
That's too much, Mom.
that's not like this, right? So if you want to specify an order for something like this, okay, to specify the kind of correct order, correct order, you can turn them into factors with a specific order, okay? And maybe one of your data camp lessons talked about factors. I don't know, maybe not.
The very beginning.
Yeah, in the very beginning, and it's kind of just like, what was
Who's
this
gonna
thing? And you
remember
just had to like copy and paste your answers and stuff. So here, I'm gonna take this column review month, okay? And so I'm gonna do Las Vegas, $, review month, okay? And because it's got a space, it has to put these little quotes around it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to replace the currently existing review month by making a factor out of it, okay? So factor is the way we make a categorical variable or a factor. So I'm going to say make a factor out of this column, review month, and then you use levels. So you turn them into a factor with a specific order, and then so you use the function factor and use the argument levels to specify the correct order. So here, I'm going to do, now I get to type them out in the correct order. February. It's like, what happens? How many words have a silent R? But, I mean, do we pronounce that first R in February?
Sometimes I do. I switch it up.
Okay, well.
February.
January, February, March, April, May. I feel like I'm in kindergarten here. June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay. All right. Good job, me. All right. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then let's go ahead and try this out. Las Vegas, select.
You put it out of the code truck.
I created a new code chunk, right? All right, okay, table here. Okay, and then now this is in the order that we want, okay? January, February, March, April, May, June.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did this in the very beginning.
Yeah, see? Okay, so something like that, and so we have that there. And then table can also work if you select also works with works if you select two categorical variables. So here I'm going to do Las Vegas, select review month, and review weekday, okay? And then I'm going to throw it into table, and we get January, February, March, April here, and then, okay, and then again, the days of the week are in alphabetical order. Friday, Monday, Saturday, Sunday, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's like, yeah, that's not correct. So let's, I'll do the same thing, but I need to do it for the days of the week. So I'm going to do review weekday and make sure I'm going to override the correct variable. All right. Okay. So what do we want? Sunday. What did it? All right. Does the week start on Monday or Sunday?
Sunday.
Yeah.
No question.
Someday. Yeah. Discussion closed. Case closed.
Okay.
That's just.
So we're going to take weekday, and I'm going to have it start on Sunday here. Okay, and then so now if I do that, we get this, and that looks good. And then, and then there's one more thing you can do with table. There's another function called add margins, and it will add row totals and column totals. Okay, which is often very handy and useful. Okay, let me give you your last view quiz answer. Last view quiz answer is the letter D. D as in dog.
What?
D as in dog.
3 out of 3.
No way.
Okay,
Yeah.
I believe you.
I was right for that, but I guess do the whole time.
Okay.
You would do it.
D as in dog is your last view quiz answer for today.
I mean,
Okay, we'll end here for today.
I think about Vegas. I didn't even go to Vegas. Yeah. All this
I think that's it. Okay, have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday.
you too, Mom.